Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. You join me back for part 2 of this fantastic Halloween themed Addams Family build. If you haven't already, check out part 1, which will be linked in a card and in the description. And before we get going, make sure that you also hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, as it really helps the channel. These are the materials you'll need for the build, and this includes all of the internal walls, floors and staircases. Back into the build now. The first thing we're going to do is add some detailing around the entranceway to the ballroom. And so we're going to place ourselves some sandstone stairs that are going to go over in the two corners, and then in between that, making sure that you're facing towards the center of the build so that you don't get the clasp visible, we're going to place ourselves some of the acacia trapdoors, and then we're going to also place 2 on the sides like this, just to give us a bit of an entrance. Then, similar to what we did in the last build, we are going to give ourselves a bit of detailing above the doorway, and we're going to do this by having the clasp going in different directions for the acacia trapdoors and giving us the detailing there. On this right hand side of the build, we're going to start by adding an extra wall going in here. So we're going to add 2 sandstone blocks. We're then going to place a red sandstone on top, and we're going to have an upside down stair going through, which is going to create our little doorway to this little room. Now, because this is a small room, we're not going to clad all of the walls, and just going to keep all the space that we've got. Next, we are going to bring out the sandstone, and we're going to bring it level with this second entrance onto the top of the conservatory. We're going to leave a space of 2, and then we're going to have 2 more blocks. We're also going to have 2 blocks on this side of the window just to finish off this area. Bring the red sandstone across like this and on top, and then we're going to create a little archway here by placing 2 upside down red sandstone stairs. On top of this, we're going to bring an entire layer of sandstone across, because this is going to take us up to the ceiling and the floor for the next level. So we'll fill all of this in, and that's this side of the build done. For the other side, we're going to bring out 3 blocks, and then that's going to be a doorway. Then we're going to have 3 blocks, and then that's going to be another doorway, and then we're going to start filling this in. Again, we're just going 1 block next to this. We're going to put an archway here in a second. So we'll fill these in with the regular sandstone like this. Then the red sandstone goes on top, and then we're going to, again, as we did previously, place some lintels, which are going to be some upside down red sandstone stairs, with the final line of sandstone coming right the way round and on top of this to just finish off the look. And this just gives the walls a bit more of an interesting look to that, and we'll come in here and place ourselves a couple of doors. Next, we are going to start adding in some of the cladding that's going to go all the way round to the edge of the build. So it's simply a case of wherever you've got any exposed stone, we're going to be covering up with this sandstone and doing it in the same pattern. So we've got this railing, this line of the red sandstone that goes right the way across. So we'll do that all the way around like so. I'll just show you with the regular sandstone. You can put the other 2 layers on top yourselves, and we'll fill in this little gap just so it looks a bit nicer in that corner. So that's going to come around. Now, the other places that we're going to have the walls are, one wall is going to come directly out of here, and we're going to bring that out, and then we're going to have a doorway here. So there's 1 block, then a doorway, and then we've got the rest of it here. And then in the back section, it's from this sticking out bit, this protrusion, we're going to have ourselves another little doorway coming through from here. So again, these are going to be interconnected rooms that are going to bring us round. And in the doorways, we do them in exactly the same way. We use the red sandstone lintel, and then we just place the door whichever side you fancy placing it. So fill this in and bring this all the way up to the same level as this, and then we can start thinking about this archway and the flooring. Next, we've got this archway. So we're going to use a line of the polished andesite going up either side of this. Then next to that, on both sides, we've got ourselves just an upside down stair with a slab in the middle. We're also at this stage going to bring up these warped fences, and these are going to come up to level with the top of the walls as some supports running right the way through the build. And then it's a really simple step of actually just taking our, not that, that's the one, taking our dark oak planks and running a line of these all the way across this level. So this is completely going to be filled in with a floor coming out into the room here. The The one exception of that is this block next to the stairs, and we're going to have a stair up there, and that's going to tie into this tower. But everything else, yeah, just fill it in with the dark oak. To give us some access to the upstairs, we're going to start by creating a staircase, and that's going to start one block behind this archway, and we're going to go with a stair that way and an upside down stair, then a stair on top of that, and this time we are going to then place ourselves some slabs running across in a line that's just going to go across the window there. Here we're going to have a stair on top like so. Not that, just here, and then one final stair which will then link up to that stair that we put there before. Now underneath this we'll have a slab here and an under stair, just to give it a bit more structure so it doesn't look like it's floating. The next stage is going to be adding some windows that are going to be popping out of the roof, and I've marked some of these, but I'll go through all of these to show you where they're being placed. For each of these we're going to replace the purple wool, and we're going to put a polished andesite, and we're going to have 3 polished andesite coming up either side to show us where these windows are going to go. So the first one is directly beneath these 2 windows on the left of the entrance. Then we've got one that's directly above this window here that is going to go up, and again with our 3 blocks going either side. The next one directly again above this window in the middle here, so we'll go up again with 3 blocks like this for now, just to mark the windows out. Then the next one is 1 block in from this andesite. So you've got andesite and then stone, and then you'll have the polished andesite, which means that you can have your window frame going here. And equally, you've got one that's just around the corner, so these touch on the corners with the polished andesite itself. And the last one is directly above this window that we've got here, so you're going to have your frame coming up here. Now we've got 2 on this side, one that's directly in the middle of this section that sticks out, so we've got our 3 and our 3, and the final one here is just over the left hand side of this these 2 archways. So we've got that there, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block you'll be placing your polished andesite for that one, or coming in from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block. So as you can see, it's directly in the middle of this walled section. Now we're going to be looking at finishing off this big iconic central tower. We'll be doing this by placing the corners first and foremost. So on top of the andesite that we've got here in these 2 sections there and there, and then moving in not on this first but the 2nd block, so you've actually got 4 blocks gap in between, we're going to be starting some of these towers, and these are each going to go up, including this block that we've just placed, a total of 12 high. With those 4 pillars in place, we are firstly going to fill in the entirety of the 2 sides. So we're going to fill in all of this side and all of this side right the way up to the top of this tower with some of the stone bricks. At the back of the build now, inside the base, we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block we're going to connect this up. And then before we do anything else, we're going to level with this, come round to the 2 sides, and on the front side we're going to knock out the 2nd block, and we're going to do the same on the other side. And these are going to be some little windows, so we'll put some of the light grey stained glass panes in there before we take this and fill it right the way up to the top here, and then we'll start working on the front of the tower. At the front of the build now, we're going to add a window in, so we're going to place an andesite here with 2 of the stone bricks next to that, with 3 then andesite coming up the side, and then a stone brick archway going over the top. So these are exactly the same as the ones that we've done before, and we can do the front nice and quick in the same way that we've done previously, with the stairs going into the sides like this, just as a refresher, and then the andesite walls going up like so. Now above this, it's slightly different. For this last level, we are going to have 2 andesite blocks here and here, with a stone brick block in the middle, because we're going to have 2 windows. So in the middle then, we will bring the andesite up 3 like this, and then we'll finish off with the stone bricks coming across like so. So these, we've got a double window up here. We'll add in our glass panes, and these are the light grey stained glass. We'll put a lintel, we'll put a ledge at the bottom, and then across the top we're going to have an andesite stair like so, an andesite stair going into the side, and one going in like this, and then we'll just fill in the andesite walls to the top like this. Now, just as we look to the front on the right hand side of the tower that we've just built, we are going to build ourselves a little A-frame, and we're going to do that by placing 5 of the walls, and these are the stone brick walls, and we're going to then place 4 of the walls like this with a stained glass pane in the middle, and then 3 walls on top of that and 1 wall on top of that like so. And then on this side we're going to place ourselves 2 of the black stone, and then 2 of the black stone coming in this way like this. And on this side we're going to place 2 of the cobbled deep slate just like so. In between each of these windows we are then going to start filling in, and we're going to bring up 3 of the black stone until we get to these corners. So anywhere where we've got a corner like this, rather than black stone, we're going to be using cobbled deep slate, and this is just to kind of give a bit of variety to the roof, the ceiling itself. So we'll come up with these 3 on each side and bring these around. So whenever you've got a corner like this that sticks out, we're going to be using the cobbled. Same here, and then we can bring this across there. Now with these corners like this, you can take that block out if you wish, or you can just leave it in. I'll just leave it in for the sake of this, but it will be covered if you did want to do that, and you could potentially replace that for a bit of extra space in the roof. But yeah, we're going to bring these all the way around, and this is a corner, so that'd be cobbled, and this isn't a corner, so that'd be black stone, and we'll fill all of these up right the way around the build, and that'll bring us up to the same level that we have here. Right the way through. So yeah, get that done, and then I'll show you the next stage. With the black stone built up, first thing we're going to do is fill in all of these windows, and we're going to use the light grey stained glass panes for all of those, so do that all the way around. And then after that, starting from the front here, we're going to run a line of the black stone slabs, and these are going to be level with the bottom section of this the black stone that we've placed, and they're going to come out round. And these are going to go all the way round the build, and I'm just going to miss the corners out on this tower, but everything else will just come round and just have a line going all the way next to this. When you get to the window spaces, leave a 3 gap for the windows, but aside from that, we're going to bring these all the way round. For the corners where we've got these bits, we are going to use some cobbled deep slate instead of the black stone. So anywhere where we've got the corner so it lines up with this, we're going to use the cobbled deep slate rather than the black stone. So for this one, I'll show you again, it would be a cobbled deep slate for this corner, and likewise on the other side it would be a cobbled deep slate for the corner, but black stone all the way across for the rest of it. Now when you get round to this section, of course we're not going to go round the ballroom section, so we'll just stop when we get to that ballroom section and then pick it up on the other side here like this with the black stone coming out across. So do that literally all the way around the build once you get to the corners, including across the front, in front of this section here. So we're going to have the black stone coming out like so, just beneath this little window on this A-frame, so that'll then connect up here. With the section of the roof in place, we're going to switch to our warped wood, and we're going to start placing first of all some upside down warped stairs. So the first one we'll start from is on the left side of this tower, then we'll skip one and place one here, and then we'll place one here as well, and then it's going to be either side of the window, just basically running in a line. And it's going to be every other block we're going to place these. So when you get to the edge, then you get another one coming around the corner. There'll be one here, and so on and so forth. Just right the way around the build like this. Now, if you do get lost at any point, then find the corner and work away from the corner. So the important thing to make sure is that when you get to a corner like this, that you do have an upside down stair on either side, and then that should line up with the build anyway. And then when you go around this side, obviously to make sure it's easier, you start at the corner and work across this way, and then you know exactly where to place them. So these are going to go all the way around the build, and once you've placed these, again, work from the corner. Once you've placed these in place, then you are going to carry that around. I'll do the last couple here, one more here, skip that block, and then place one like this in all of the spaces that you've got, with the exception of this space in the middle. So this one here, we are going to, in the middle of the tower, just put ourselves a nice little slab there. Everything else moving around right the way around. I've missed one there. We're going to be using some of the warped trapdoors. So fill in all of the warped trapdoors right the way across, and that includes under these windows. So these windows are going to have this warped trapdoor underneath as well. So bring in all of the warped trapdoors in all of the gaps as well. With that done all the way around, we're going to finish off each of these windows. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put 3 black stone over the top of each and every one. So where we've got the blocks there, we're going to have 3 black stone on top. Then, placing against the andesite, we're going to have 2 of the walls on each of them. And again, this is the same on literally each of these windows that we have, because they've all got sufficient gap to do this. You don't need to change it for any reason. And then on top we have a full andesite block like this, so it links into the roof, and then we have a slab just in between the two. So add all of those sections in with the 3 black stone on top and then this detailing, and then you've got all of these little windows finished. To deal with this A-frame, we are going to firstly place a black stone block rather than a slab just here, and we're going to place a cobbled deep slate wall there like so. On either side of this then we're going to place another black stone, so there's one there and one there. And then we're going to place a wall here and 2 walls on this side. From this, we'll take a polished black stone and bring that out to a block in front. And behind that, we are going to add some of the black stone. So we're going to have 2 black stone blocks on this side and 1 on this side, just like this. And then on top of that, we're going to have a line that's going to run right the way across between the 2 of them. Now, actually, these 2 here should be the cobbled deep slate, because again that ties in with the corner, but that's fine. And we're also then going to take some of the polished black stone and replace this block here, which is next to this cobbled deep slate, and this block here, which is next to the wall, with the polished black stone blocks. And using some stairs, we're going to step up across the build, so there's going to be 3 on this side and then 3 on this side the same way, which is going to bring us like this. Then we're going to have a stair on the underside like so, and then some more upside down stairs on the 2 sides just to finish it off and give us the lovely A-frame look there. For the next layer of the roof, we're going to use some brick walls. So, well, we're going to use some black stone and some cobbled deep slate walls rather. So the first thing we're going to do is on this corner, we're going to use a cobbled deep slate wall. And like we've used with the blocks, these cobbled deep slate walls are going to go on every single corner. So rather than using the black stone, we're going to use those. But then in between, we're going to connect up with the black stone like this. And that's going to be all the way round. So again, you've got this cobbled deep slate, and then as soon as you've got that, you put a cobbled deep slate wall on top, and the rest of it is black stone. Once we get to this section here, we're just going to place 3 black stone here and then connect up with the walls like we would before. And also at this stage, we're going to do some of the window detailing. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a stair here and a stair here, with a stair upside down in the middle, and then we've got a slab, and these are all polished black stone, and a slab on either side, and then 2 of the polished black stone slabs on top here. So where we've placed these 3, we've got 1 in the middle, and then we've got an upside down stair here. I'll show you again, right way up stair on either side of that, and then another slab on top of that, and 1 either side to give that a nice kind of look to it. So we'll do that on all the windows and connect everything up with the walls all the way around as well. Next, we're going to start with some black stone. So we're going to start running some black stone against the back of these walls that we've got, because we don't want any gaps in the build. When we come to the bits that stick out like this, we're actually just going to carry on and fill in those spaces. So these are going to have black stone above them. And again, here we've got one that sticks out slightly, and we're just going to fill in that gap so we can carry on the black stone and basically make the roof a bit smoother going all the way round there. So once we've done that all the way round, and again it is a slight pain that these blocks, the walls don't connect up in a slightly better way to these, but that's just how it is. When we get to this section over here, again, as we did with the other bits, we're actually just going to fill in that whole bit and then carry this on next to the walls and connect up, and then also connect this up going this way to this block here. Now once we've done that all the way around, we're then going to run another line of blocks on top of that. So we're just going to run these through, and with these blocks, the one place that's going to be slightly different is when we get to these edges, because we're going to again use our lovely cobbled deep slate rather than the black stone for any of those corners that stick out on the edge. So like we've got the corner just over here, when we get to the corner here, we're going to have the cobbled deep slate. This line is going to keep going across just behind this, and then we're going to have the full line going across the top like so. And the one last thing that we're going to do to connect things up is we're going to take one of these stairs and just tie that into the roof like this. So we will have the all of these bits filled in and two lines, so a line of the blocks will then be sticking out above the walls that we've created. With those all done, we are going to finish off this section of the roof by just taking some of the cobbled deep slate and running the walls for that cobbled deep slate right the way around the build. And anywhere where it sticks out, we're just following the line of the roof, and we're not changing any of the blocks. It's going to be cobbled deep slate right the way across. And where we've tied into this roof as well, as you can see, that connects up. Now you might want to just change that one block just so it matches up a little bit better with the cobble, but again, we're just running this through and all the way around the build till we get to the edge. Now we're going to deal with the attic itself for the build, and we're going to start by placing some spruce logs. Now the first logs that we're going to start placing are some logs going up here, and these are going to come to the same level as this roof. Now we don't need to worry, we're going to be putting some additional blocks on top, so you're not going to see the ends of these. And starting from either one of these sides is fine, but we're going to add some pillars on either side of this. On this side, we're then going to use these as a starting point. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth block, we're going to add another pillar. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth block this way, we're going to add another pillar. And then from that 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth block, we're going to add a pillar. And then we're going to match these up, so we've got some pillars coming up from the ground on this side, and then do the same here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now on this, we're going to have a little bit different. We're actually going to go to the fifth block. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sixth block. So there's 5 block gap in between. And then we're still going to match that up with the other ones, and that's going to be the only ones that we've got there. We are going to have one more set of pillars going up, which are going to be running up this wall, and that's going to allow us to have a ladder to access this top roof section if we so wish. So for example, if you're flying in on a Elytra, it's nice to be able to land on a roof and just get into your build through that way. So first of all, build up all of these pillars. With these all in place, we're going to connect some of them up and then connect up for the roof as well. So the first thing that we will do is we're just going to randomly pick some of these, and we're going to come down onto the third block down, and we're just going to connect some of these across. So it's meant to be a little bit random how these are tied in together. So you can pick whichever ones you want to do. Just don't do all of them, and connect some of them across like this. And then maybe let's have one more here like so. And this is just to give you a bit more of an interesting layout whilst you're actually looking at the roof. The other thing to do here is to take some logs, and we're going to connect everything to everything else. And what I mean is we're going to make a framework that's going to go across. Now all of these are going to be running this way and that, connecting up with our logs going like so, and this is why we've gone on the third block down, so we've got this nice interesting gap here, and this is going to make it look like the roof is supported with a little bit of structure. So we're going to do this right the way through the build, including across here, just above this doorway, to give us a nice entranceway. So connect all of those up, The final thing to do once you've connected all of those up is taking some of the oak slabs, and not the petrified ones, but I'll just pop these in now because I've picked them up for some reason, but putting the slabs as top slabs in between. And what that will do is when you look down, it gives a bit of depth into the ceiling, and we're going to fill in all of these gaps with the slabs. So yeah, get that all filled in. Once you've added your logs and your slabs in, then the top of the roof will now look like this. And the one other thing that I have just done is added some ladders in up that log and up, so we've got access to this roof section. Now we're going to start placing the 2 chimneys, and I'll show you where to place them, and then I'll show you how to build one. They are identical, so once you can build one, you can build both. Now on this side, we are going to be coming in 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block, we are then going to count in to the 3rd block, so 1, 2, 3. So it should be just here. This is the starting place, and we're going to be building this as a 3x4 section. So there's 2 holes in the middle like this. In those 2 holes, we're just going to stick some slabs because we don't want anything to spawn on the inside. So yeah, that's 2. So you've got 3 gap here and 2 gap here. On this side, it's slightly different because we're coming in onto the 3rd block for both of them. So there's 1, 2, and then the 3rd block, 1, 2, and then the 3rd block, and that is our starting point. But it's exactly the same 3x4, and that should then line up with this hole that we've got here. So again, we'll put the slabs in and we'll start building the chimney itself. Now the chimney is simply done using some walls, and we're going to run 1, then 2, and then a 3rd line of the walls going all the way around this build to get it up to the correct height. As I say, once you've done this on one side, do it on the other side. Once you've got to this point, we're going to place 2 of the top slabs, and that is so they don't connect to these walls and make them look a bit weird. Once we've placed the slabs, we're going to put 2 of it can be either of the campfires that you want on there, and a line of andesite stairs running right the way round the edge like this on top of those walls. The final touch will be a line of andesite slabs going on top of these to give us exactly the look that we want for the chimney. 2 chimneys are now done, and we're going to finish off this roof section by adding a full layer of the blackstone slabs. Now this will make the entirety of the roof completely spawn proof, so you don't need to worry about lighting anything up. Just make sure you do get into all the nooks and crannies like this, and by using the slabs it'll make sure it doesn't connect to any of the walls as well, so you'll be good there. The one other thing that you might want to do is you can either leave this open, again doesn't really make too much difference, or you can add yourself just a trapdoor. I'll use a warped one here, and you'll be able to get up and down from your roof as soon as whenever you need to get access to it. So yeah, just fill in all of these blackstone slabs covering up this whole section. Now we're going to deal with the stairs going up the tower, and the first thing we're going to do is use 3 slabs to cover up the stone brick that we can see above us before starting to place some stairs against the wall. As we go, we are going to make sure that these are structurally sound, as much as you can in Minecraft, by making sure that we've got some of the stairs on the underside as well, and it just makes them look a bit nicer. Once we get up to this level, we are going to have 3 slabs going across so that we can carry on walking before we have 2 sets of stairs against this wall that brings us level here, at which point we are going to have a slab just there. Now we are going to have ourselves a stair going up 1 more level with a slab like so, and then 1 more stair going up, and then we're going to build ourselves a little platform going across and round like this. So this again will stop us from falling down the stairs and will give us the right look that we're looking for. So what we might want to do is place a slab there rather, and a slab there and 1 there, just to make it look a little bit more structural, as I said. Once we get to this point, we're going to carry on up to the top. We're going to do this by placing the stairs going up here and here. Then we've got ourselves a platform, and we're going to have again a stair on the back side coming round, which is going to allow us to step round, and then at this point we've got 2 more stairs that bring us out on top. And what that will do is if we fill these in with some slabs, it should then allow us to get through this section without bashing our heads as we go. And again, as I've mentioned, where you've got these stairs, fill in with upside down stairs to make them look just a little bit more sturdy. So yeah, do that right the way through your build, and then you can get access to the top of the tower. At the top of our tower that we can now access, we are going to have a dormer. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to place the under area for that, and then 3 of these up each side like so, with our light grey stained glass in the actual middle, with an andesite slab and a block on either side, with 2 walls going up like so. Then on the corners of this, we're going to place 2 of the cobbled deep slate on each of these corners like this, and then we're going to fill the gaps in between in with the black stone like so all the way around. And then as we've done on the previous layers, we're going to take a line of the black stone slabs and we're going to run those level with the edge of this all the way around like this, and on this side as well, with the corners being done with the cobbled deep slate to fill it in. So finish that off for your roof, and then we'll get to the detailing. Next, we add the detailing to the underside of the window with our warped wood. So we're going to place 3 of the upside down stairs here. Then on the sides, because these are 4 long, then we're actually going to place 2 in the middle so that we can still hit the edge there. And then on the back, it's just going to be 3. And finally on this side again, 4 with 2 in the middle. Then we use our warped trapdoors to just fill in all of the gaps around this section of the roof, which gives us the desired look, and then also in the middle there, so these pillars are being supported. Running around the edge of this, we're going to start placing some walls, and this is where we're going to place the deep slate walls in the corners with the black stone in between, like we did on the main roof, like so. Then we're going to use our black stone coming through and filling in this gap like this, before going up for another layer. And this one's firstly going to go across the window, and then we're going to have it coming around like this on top. And what we're going to do at this stage as well is we're just going to fill in there like so. Now we're going to have a second line of walls going in, and that's going to have again the cobbled deep slate on the corners like this, and then the black stone walls going around the edge like so. And that brings us to the point where we are going to then have one final layer of the roof. And so we're going to place a cobbled deep slate on each of these corners, and that's going to be the blocks, with filling this in its entirety with the black stone like so, and finishing off with a line of the cobbled deep slate walls going around the roof like this. So that gives us the shape of this top little tower of the roof that we need. The other thing that we are going to do to make it spawn proof on the inside is, as we did do, just place a couple of slabs in there, and then it's completely spawn proof. Now we've just got the detailing to go on this window and the finishing touches to the build. So this final roof section, we're going to place ourselves an upside down stair in the middle with a stair either side, and then we're going to get our polished black stone slabs and place one here, and 2 coming out of the roof on this side. And that is the end of the roof. Now we have some fences that we're going to add, and these are going to be done with some iron bars. And again, the texture for this is slightly different thanks to the WBC builds pack that I am using. There will again be a link down in the description for this. Again, it just makes the iron bars look a little bit nicer. So we're going to put some of the iron bars all the way around here on each of the corners, not there, there. We are going to use a chain to just add a flourish to this build and just make it look a bit more gothic and look nicer from the ground. We're also going to take our iron bars and we're going to do the same. We're going to run them all the way along the top of this wall, right the way around the build, on top of this section. Equally, every time we come to a corner, so in this corner as well, we will add some more of the chains just to give it some detailing, like so. So fill in all the iron bars there. We're going to have another set of iron bars on this section, just connecting up these two sections here and here, with, again, you guessed it, a chain on the corner. Basically, we're going to be putting a chain on every corner that we come to, like this. Then we've got, at the back of the build, we've got a little section here where we are going to have some iron bars, and that gives us a little Juliet balcony and runs us through a little section that comes around here. We're also going to have one here, and on this one, again, we're going to have a chain just on that corner to give it a little bit of detailing. Got a couple more places just to do this, one of which is on the edge here of the conservatory, so we're going to run the iron bars all the way around the conservatory edge like so, which means we've got two chains for the corners. And then the last little one that we've got is another little bit that goes right the way across, just like this. And these ones, they don't actually need the chains on the corners, but you can put them on if you like. But personally, I will leave yeah, let's leave them on. Let's leave them on. And once you've done that all the way around the build, then that will be the end of the building. The only other thing to do is to then go around your build, and at the moment it's very plain. We're all using just the one set of blocks. We're gonna mess up some of these block placements slightly, and we're gonna do that by adding in some of the cracked stone brick instead of the stone brick, and just some regular stone as well. So anywhere you've got stone, just mix in some of the cracked stone brick and some of the stone. Where you have got the big andesite pillars, you want to be mixing in some gravel, because when you do that, again, it goes really nicely with the andesite and gives you the effect that you want. On the black stone on the roof here, then you might want to mix in some of the polished black stone bricks to break up the roof itself. You can generally just leave the detailing on the side with the cobbled deep slate, but if you did want to put in some of the cobbled deep slate bricks, you could as well. But yeah, just mix that up around the build and I'll show you what that looks like. And then there's one more just little detail that we're going to put on the front before we're completely done. So I've now added the finishing touches to the build. The main thing that I added on the front of the build is, in the actual films, there is it's like a paint splatter, like a paint bomb's gone off and it's coloured some of the blocks there. So I'm not going to run through exactly how to do that, but remember that this world is available for a world download if you're interested. So do make sure to check that out, and that's via my Discord, and there will be a link in the description to that. So here is the finished build. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do let me know in the comments and leave me a message. I really do appreciate seeing those. And also leave a like on the video, that really helps as well. Share this video with your friends if you've enjoyed it, and also make sure above all that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I will see you all next time on Addicraft. Bye!